Welcome to At Home and Abroad with Harris and Walker. Join us each week as we follow our curiosity, diving deep into the familiar and the foreign. Reach beyond your front door as we uncover new perspectives, explore intriguing ideas, and have real conversations with the best guests. Ready for something different? Let's get started. We are excited to introduce John Lenz of Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company in Mansfield, Missouri. Baker Creek has a passion for saving, growing, and sharing rare seeds and keeping heirloom varieties alive for future generations. Welcome to At Home and Abroad, John.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So can you tell us a little bit about Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company and why it was founded back in 1998?
Yeah, probably a little bit. Jer was 17 years old, living here at the farm in Mansfield, and he'd been gardening with his mother and grandmother for years, and he started this as a hobby. He wanted to save some interesting varieties of seeds, and then he decided he was probably going to see about selling some of his favorite varieties, so he put ads in Mother Earth News.
Right.
And started a cottage business, and it's grown from there to what it is today. I believe we're North America's largest heirloom seed company.
That is remarkable. So can you define for us what heirloom seeds actually are and perhaps a little bit about open pollination too?
Yeah, that's straightforward. Open pollinated seeds are from produce that's, once again, just open pollinated. It's not, say, adjusted.
Mm-hmm. Modified, like genetically modified?
Not necessarily that, just not hybridized. Open pollinated is a plant passing its pollen around through bees and insects in the wind. And open pollinated means non-hybrid.
Okay.
It's natural. Heirloom is an open pollinated variety that has kind of a backstory to it. It's been around for 100 years. It's an older variety, but there are new open pollinated varieties that come along all the time, as opposed to a hybrid, which is intentionally crossing one variety of tomato with another variety of tomato to promote a certain characteristic.
Right. So selectively crossbreeding them to either grow stronger, taller, more hardy, whatever.
Disease resistance, yeah, and any of those characteristics that they're working on. The issue with hybrid seed is you can't save it and get the same product year after year because it is a first generation cross. It's an F1 hybrid.
Okay.
With open pollinated, you can grow the same tomato for 200 years as long as it's not accidentally crossed, and it'll breed true forever.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, the hybrids, you can't save seed on them and expect the same crop year after year.
Wow. Okay. So saving seeds is fundamental to Baker Creek, and sharing seeds is also a very fundamental thing to your business. So why is seed preservation and sharing so critical these days?
The saving of the genetics is what's important. When the first settlers came to America, the Native Americans were growing the three sisters, a type of squash, a type of corn, and a type of beans, and they grew them harmoniously, and it was very sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, those varieties that they were original ones are gone. Nobody knows what they were growing.
Wow.
Because the next person comes along and says, oh, this squash is better than the one you're using. And so they take their old seeds, throw them away, and start growing the new one.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to those old seeds? They're gone. They're lost.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the corn varieties. The bean varieties, these are all lost to history because there's always something better. Well, just because it's better doesn't mean we should trash the stuff from before. it's wise to keep those genetics around and keep them around in case there's ecological disaster or something that would force us to go back to a more primitive method of farming than what we're currently using. We just don't want to lose those genetics. We encourage people to plant and save open pollinated seeds and to share them with their neighbors so we can get a broad group of people that are helping to secure this mission, that we don't want to lose that stuff. Once it's gone, it's gone.
It can be critical to the future of humanity. Really?
There's a possibility. So that's why the seed banks, everybody's storing seed and trying to get long-term storage out of them. But you can't put them in a seed bank for 500 years and then break them out. We want people to continuously grow them and replenish the supply so they don't disappear. And so we encourage all our customers, every gardener everywhere, to save seed and to share seed.
It's an important message.
Yeah, the biodiversity is worth preserving.
So, John, have you noticed any changes since the pandemic started?
I'm going to say yes. Basically, I think we have a flood of newer gardeners, less experienced gardeners. The pandemic forced a lot of people to stay home from work, and while they were at home, they thought, heck, I'm going to grow some tomatoes.
Right.
So we got a bunch of less experienced gardeners, and we answer questions for them. We try to help them be successful. We want everybody to have a raging good garden. I mean, there's so many joys out there in walking through and picking tomatoes on the way by, harvesting a crop of radishes, bringing that watermelon in for the summer picnic. You know, I grew this stuff. So we're seeing a lot of enthusiastic newbies, and a lot of them have questions because they don't have, either they didn't grow up with grandma having a big garden, or they're city dwellers and haven't had the opportunity or the time to really explore all the wildness that's out in the garden.
So they're fumbling their way through and you're doing some hand holding.
Well, fumbling sometimes. I've had plants die. I've had crop failures. Everybody does.
Yeah, I know personally I have.
Yeah, some years it just goes great, and the next year you can't get anything to work. So you have some hand holding, it's a lot of reassuring. You know, it'll work. Just got to have some patience and some faith in this. You know, put the seeds in the ground. They're not up yet. How long's it been? 5 days. No, come on, stay with me here. Wait another 2 weeks, and then we'll see what we can do. Everybody wants it now.
Yeah, I bet there is a lot of that, eh?
Instant gratification.
Instant gratification, exactly.
I put the seeds in. Where's my tomatoes? There's some gentle instruction that we try to do and explain how things work.
Now, your headquarters there in Mansfield really offers so much more than what you would think of a seed store. Can you tell us and our listeners what they might expect if they visited?
Oh, boy.
Is that a loaded question, John?
Yeah, this is kind of fun. There is the seed store. We have 1,200 varieties in there. Thousands of packs of seeds. There's a boutique. We also have, Baker Creek has a bulk herb store, which is organic teas, spices, and herbs. One of the ladies I work with up at the store is an herbalist. Jer's mother runs a bakery.
Wonderful.
Across the way, just 20 steps away, and makes, I swear, the best cinnamon rolls you've ever eaten.
Oh.
I've had a few too many. Sourdough bread from a really old culture that she's had for forever. Cookies, other fun things. Got jams and jellies, local honey. We also have a vegan restaurant on site.
Really?
That, from all reports, is excellent. And I don't know how far it is to the next vegan restaurant, but they're not real common in southern Missouri.
Right.
As far as the gardening end goes, there are 700 plus raised beds down the hill where trials are performed. We grow everything. We start 50,000 seedlings in the greenhouses. We don't sell them, we plant them all. There's 26 greenhouses right now, a little over 100,000 square feet of greenhouses, and 5+ acres of gardens, outdoor gardens.
It sounds like quite a destination for the whole family, whether you're a gardener or not.
Yeah, you can pretty much spend a day here without any kind of trouble. Yeah, just wandering around it'll take you all day to see what's here. We grow 35 seed crops a year, probably on average, for seed production.
So what do you see for the future of gardening, and what role do you see Baker Creek playing in that future?
I guess the future of gardening in my mind is we have the new crop. We have the old crop. It seems to me that we need to make sure that everybody that's my age, which is not young, be sure and teach at least one person the importance of gardening, so that 2 generations from now, people don't assume tomatoes come from the store.
Right.
They got to learn that you can grow your own food, and it's much better for you. And so I hope the future of gardening is the next generation picking up the habit, picking up the joy of gardening. And once again, there's hydroponics, there's aeroponics. They have new products that you can grow lettuce on your kitchen table. I want people to see this and realize that it's not that hard, and it's very rewarding. So I'm hoping that over the next couple of generations, gardening comes back into the mainstream.
Right. If the pandemic tells us anything or shows us anything, it sounds like we're heading in that direction.
Yeah, and Baker Creek, we're supporting that. I mean, it's our business, but it's also our mission, our ethos. We want gardening to be something that everybody does.
Thank you so much, John, for chatting with us today. It was a pleasure speaking with you. If you would like to learn more about Baker Creek, you can visit them at www.rareseeds.com or follow them on Instagram at Baker Creek Seeds, Facebook at Rare Seeds, and their very informative YouTube series entitled Seed Stories. I have to tell you, each one is a little history lesson. You may also have a read of one of their books, The Heirloom Life Gardener and the Baker Creek Vegan Cookbook. Thanks again, John.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you for joining us at Home and Abroad with your host, Harrison Walker. You have been listening to an excerpt of a larger episode from Season 1. For the full episode, you can visit our website or browse our back catalog. If you enjoyed this episode, you would be a real gem if you would rate and review our show. It helps us to grow and expand our reach. You can also subscribe to follow us each week as we continue the conversation. Find us on Instagram at Harrison Walker, or visit us at www.homeandabroadpodcast.com. We do have great merch, just saying. And of course, we would love to hear from you. And for you truly dedicated fans who have listened all the way to the end of this episode, we offer exclusive interviews, outtakes, challenges, and more on our paid channel, not even the cost of a latte once a month, depending, of course, on where you buy your coffee.